It happened, guys. It happened. The Toronto Raptors are the one. They are the one to lose to the Detroit Pistons, snapping their 28-game losing streak. Of course, the Pistons were one more loss away from setting the all-time NBA record for the longest losing streak. And the Raptors decided, well, you know what? We are going to be the one, and we are definitely going to be the joke for a while. We are going to talk about it, guys. Please do me a solid, hit a like on the video, and also please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content, Raptors post-game videos just like this. So I'm not surprised by this. I was kind of getting myself mentally prepared for this because I feel like a lot of Raptors fans saw this coming, right? With the way the season was trending, you knew this loss was inevitable. And it's funny because it's like Masai Ujiri knew this loss was coming and he pulled the trigger on a big-time trade before things hit the fan officially. Because the Toronto Raptors go from making a franchise-altering trade to losing to the Detroit Pistons, snapping their elusive losing streak all in the same day. And this is just embarrassing, really. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm certainly not going to make excuses for the Raptors, as nobody should, because there is no excuse why the Raptors should have lost this game. I don't care that the Raptors were shorthanded because they just made a trade and they were without guys. I don't care that the Raptors were on the second night of a back-to-back and they got in at 3 a.m. There is no reason why they should have lost this game. None. You do not lose this game when you have Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam. The Detroit Pistons are so bad that they almost fumbled that game up by 10 with a minute left? That's how bad this team was. And the Raptors found a way to lose to them. This is the worst loss in Raptors franchise history, from just losing to a team that is brutally bad. And the Raptors now become the laughingstock of the league. It's inevitable. You already start to see the jokes being made online, people poking fun, and that's the reality. And, this is rock bottom officially for the Raptors. I called their loss against the Jazz rock bottom when they blew a 17-point lead at home, but this is rock bottom. And you can only hope now that the trade that they made leads them in the right direction, because, this is as pathetic as it gets. But the silver lining is, because they are at rock bottom and they just suffer this humiliation, you can only go up from here, right? And obviously, the Raptors, this one's going to hurt for a while. I think this is a loss that the Raptors are not going to be able to live down for a while. But they do turn the page by making that big trade. And I would have been a lot more pissed at this loss if the Raptors hadn't made the trade. Because, this is going to usher in a new era of Raptors basketball. They're going to get the guys that they got from the trade on Monday. And I have a feeling that the Raptors might not be done making moves. Woj said in his piece that the Raptors could also explore trades for Pascal Siakam. At this point, I don't think anything's off the table. Put it that way. There is nothing off the table when it comes to this Raptors team and this Raptors reconstruction. The only thing is, Scotty Barnes is going to be here. Outside of that, anything can happen at this point. And when you suffer a defeat like this, it opens everything up and then some. And we already knew the Raptors were in that territory. They're officially in that territory after this loss, because I'm telling you, this is a truly bad loss. Franchise worst, in my opinion, loss by the Toronto Raptors. As Pascal Siakam, he did as much as he could. He had 35 points, shouldering the load for the Raptors. Scotty Barnes struggled from the field. Didn't get that 3-ball falling tonight. He did finish with 22. Schroeder had 30, obviously starting after the trade was made. Gary Trent Jr. had 24. And then the Raptors' lack of depth really hurt them. Obviously, losing a guy like Precious, I know he wasn't playing a ton, and Malachi, it had Darko reshuffling things. And all of a sudden, you had to put Schroeder in the lineup. You didn't have OG. And then, your bench was just very thin. Basically did not give you anything. As McDaniels, 2 points, Boucher, 4 points, Thad Young, 6 points. And look, you got to give the Detroit Pistons a lot of credit. They fought hard in this game. Every time it looked like the Raptors were going to make a run, the Pistons made a big shot. And it just felt like it was their night. Everybody was joking around about it, talking about it, and it actually happened that the Raptors were going to be the ones to lose to the Pistons, as the Pistons, 50% from the field. They made timely threes, and, they were due. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I thought, well, there are actually a couple of reasons why I thought the Pistons were going to win this game. One, they've been playing a lot better lately. Two, the Raptors were on the second night of a back-to-back. Three, they were due. And then the fourth reason came up suddenly, and that is the Raptors were obviously in the midst of making this trade, and then they had to get ready for the game. But there's no reason why, again, the Raptors should have lost this one. There's no excuse in the playbook. And, the Detroit Pistons, they get it done. They win. And this was this was crazy to see, because it looked like the Pistons had just won the championship. You could just see the sigh of relief on everybody's face on that team, including Monty Williams. The fans were ecstatic. Monty Williams spoke about it after the win, saying that he almost teared up. This is a team that hadn't won since October. The last time they won, they were actually 2-1. This was an historic losing streak. Crazy. It felt like it was never going to end for as bad as the Pistons were. And it ends, funny enough, on the final game of 2023, as the Pistons look to build on this, and the Raptors, they now enter a new era with the guys they get back in the OG trade. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the start of more, because the Toronto Raptors, it is going to be a work in progress. This is a team that they're not going to suddenly become good, all of a sudden be a legitimate playoff team. I think it's going to be a slow moving process, even after this trade and the guys they got back. They got good young pieces, but it's going to take time. So this is a team that is going to be in tough more nights than not. And we've seen this season how bad it's been. 12-20, 4-11 on the road, losing to bad teams. And of course, the cherry on top is this absolutely terrible loss to the Detroit Pistons. So the Raptors, guys, they lose. They're going to be back in action on Monday. Looks like they're going to have some new faces ready for that one, as the Pistons, they get a win. And Cade Cunningham, he was terrific. He had 30 points. He's been playing his heart out during this losing streak. And Bogdanovich had 19. Knox had 17. Duran had 18. Ivy had 12. The Pistons got it done. They beat the Raptors, as the Raptors lose, and now they got to swallow this pill. What was your reaction to this, Raptors fans? How are you feeling after this loss? Let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to hit a like on the video, guys, and please subscribe to the channel for more. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.